Hi, I'm Sarah of Renovative Home. We source, curate vintage furniture and home decor. We also do furniture repair, refinishing, reupholstery, recane chairs, rewire lamps, and now we do estate sales. The best in the area, apparently. Cheers.
You're so good at it.
That's what I was doing my real.
Have you ever done a cold plunge?
Well, no. I mean, I suppose when you go to the beach at home in England, it's always a cold plunge because it's always bloody freezing, but not like technically, like it's the trend now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't done that.
Well, if you ever want to.
I know Lisa was telling me about it. You
She
got a sauna
loves
too?
What's that?
You do the sauna as well? Or?
I do it. I don't have one at my house yet, but I'm working on it. That's the next step. I'd like to not have to leave my house to do to do my daily ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, because I used to do hot yoga every single day, and now I just don't seem to have the time. I know I've got to make time, but I know I'm meant to, but it's so bloody close.
Complacency kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just, at the moment, it's just been crazy. But I loved doing that, like 108 degrees in there and just sweating. And
have you noticed that since you've stopped that you feel different?
Yeah, my body, I can feel it because, I move furniture all the time and, I'm on the go all the time. But, and then I always felt fine, but now I can wake up and I'm like, oh, bloody hell, I really should stretch, What I'm doing now, I love it. So some days I think, calm down on yourself, you're kind of working out because like I'm always on the go, and like moving and lifting and stuff. So
that is true.
And I do, and I love it. I love what I do because, I don't think you could keep up this pace and not love it.
So your name's Sarah?
Camden.
Camden. Nice to meet you.
Good to
Officially.
meet you. Nathaniel
Cuellar. Yeah.
So you're Spanish or?
I just got my 23andMe back. I'm Spanish, Portuguese.
Oh.
I'm Irish, German, and I'm Native American and black.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. 3% West African.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
that's
20% cool. A native tribe that's like down northern Mexico, southern Texas. They're similar to the Comanches. I forget their name. Starts with an M. It gives you those two tribes and says you're from like that region.
It's fascinating.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Because I had always wondered growing up. Like I've been called every derogatory term in the book because people just don't know what the hell I am.
Right.
And they'll just throw something until it sticks.
You can show them your paperwork.
Yeah. Where are you from?
England.
Okay.
Worcestershire, where they make the sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you get to Lynchburg, Virginia?
My husband's from Amherst County, which is across the river, and he was working in England. And then we met, and I was renting a house out, and he was one of the renters, and then that's how we met, and then got married in England, stayed there for a year, and then we were coming back to Lynchburg for a little bit, and 20 years later, I'm still here.
How do you feel about that? I mean, I know you're doing something you love. You just said that,
yeah,
but
it's better now. At first, I hated it. I'm like, what the hell have I done? Where am I? It was just, we were in Amherst County, So I just absolutely hated it. I was like, this is the middle of nowhere. I couldn't find like crusty bread or good coffee or anything. And I've lived in, I lived in Israel. I was on a kibbutz, and I've traveled around the world and lived in other places. But knowing that, like I was on the kibbutz for 6 months, in Israel, so I knew that there was an end to it. But then when I moved here, I thought, well, when will it end? You know what I mean? Because there wasn't it was kind of strange. Anyway, and then our son was born after a couple of years, and then you start meeting people, and other moms and stuff. So
then you get invested, and you got roots, and
yeah. Now my son's at Virginia Tech.
Nice. We just went to a UVA game. I didn't realize there was like such a you're either UVA or Virginia. Yeah. Because Lisa actually gave us tickets to go to a game. Kelly had never been, so we went, and we like to buy shirts wherever we go.
Yeah.
If it's a game, if it's a concert, a restaurant, whatever. So we buy UVA hoodies, and like we're just. And I got so much hate mail, like so many messages talking shit about Virginia Tech. I was like, relax. I don't give a shit. I'm just buying the T-shirt.
Yeah, it's huge rivalry. My son's best friend goes to UVA, and they've been together since primary school here at James River, and they're just best friends. But it's just funny that rivalry.
Yeah. Well, if it makes anybody feel better, that's a Virginia Tech fan. They lost their first home game in like 2 years or 22 games or something.
Yeah.
So I think we jinxed them because we weren't really fans.
It's your fault.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll take the credit for that. So we like to go and like, I mean, who doesn't like to go to garage sales or estate sales and dig through people's old shit? And it's funny now that we've been going to so many, I always I see it as like ants or vultures on like a dead carcass. Like everybody just comes out and just picks everything away.
No. Someone just commented on my video from yesterday, and like when I posted that the house is empty, because we have the estate sale every weekend, and by 6 o'clock Monday, my goal, because physically and mentally I want it gone. I'm done with the sale on the Monday, and I like to have the house empty. And then he was like, "Oh, it's so sad. They've collected all these things over years, and now this empty house." And I'm thinking, that's the wrong way to look at it, because most of the time the people are well into their 80s or 90s, and yeah, they've had this long life. This guy was a heart surgeon, the latest one. Travelled the world, taught at Oxford University, and had this full, fascinating, rich life. Now he's at Westminster Canterbury, and he's in a room, so he can't take all of his possessions. But now we're in this little town in the middle of Virginia, in Lynchburg, and we're able to give you access to these fascinating, I think, collections from first edition books to a Steinway piano, to a Burberry trench coat or a piece of furniture, so it's giving that collection now a new life. And so it doesn't just get, because what would used to happen, it would just be, if the family didn't want it, it would just go, a dumpster would arrive, and it would go in the dumpster, and then the landfill, and so that's sad.
Yeah.
So now we're doing, recycling or whatever you call it. It's sustainable living, I think. It's giving this Ottoman, whatever it is, another life.
Yeah.
It's someone else who actually wants it because they're paying money for it. So I think glass half full kind of.
No, that's a beautiful way to look at it. And I feel like I just got my second question answered, which is why do you do this? And it sounds like you really just care about giving things another life and kind of recycling and extending it and appreciating it.
Yeah. And
celebrating that journey. I love, our house is full of stuff like this. I eventually, I hope my house will look like this one day. But it's because of that same reason. I just love the story that these things have had. Having something new for me is yeah.
I know, you get something from Target and everyone's got it.
Yeah.
Wear something.
And I think if we practice this more and appreciated this more, there wouldn't be so much shit in our landfills, because people just buy stuff and it doesn't mean anything, and then they're cool to throw it away or disregard it or whatever. But some of this stuff that's just, it has such a life and a history to it.
Yeah.
You just appreciate it so much more.
Yeah.
I can look at most of the things in my house, and if it didn't come from my life or my family's life, if I don't know the story, I love to just imagine what it was and give it context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I do like to ask a little bit about the homeowner. Usually I'm asking the kids, just tell me a little bit about them, just so that there's some context to, well, why is this print of the Bodleian, which is the library at Oxford, the famous library that's 1,000 years old, why is this in this home in Lynchburg? Well, it's because he taught there and he retired to Lynchburg, so it gives it a little bit of context. And then it's, I don't know, I've also assembled like a team of people. So if you see a lamp and the switch doesn't quite work, well, I've got a lamp guy. And if the fabric on the ottoman, you don't like it, well, I've got a reupholsterer. And then I can paint furniture. And then I've got a repair guy. So a piece at the weekend, she was kind of moaning about the top drawer didn't quite sit right. Well, now Frank, my repair guy's got that, and he's going to put new tracks on the drawer, you know. So it's not only sort of rescuing it, you know, by it going to another person, but I'm also making it better or restoring it, you know. So I think.
How did you get here? Like, I know how I got to the point where I appreciate everything so much and want to like give it life, and it's really dark. So how did you get to be in a position, like, how did you become you?
I suppose I never had much money. I think about it sometimes because I just didn't. When, you know, growing up, didn't have much money, and then I don't know, and then just started buying. I went to uni and stuff, and of course then I didn't have any money, and then always went to like charity shops, and so I wanted like nice things, my idea of nice things, and that was the way to get them. And then, you know, then you think, well, I like selling too. And I don't mean selling just to like make money. Whether it's I buy something for $1 and sell it for 10, or buy something for 100 and sell it for 1,000. You know, it doesn't. The money's not so much the reason. I just really enjoy like selling. I don't know how else to explain it, because it sounds. I always think of like, you know, like used car salesmen or something when they're all sleazy and they're just doing it for the money. But I don't know. I just like selling, and then talking to people. I've combined the two, I suppose, and then now I have a shop. And when I started this shop, Troy, who's now dead, but he owned High Cotton that was in here, and it was high-end furniture shop, you know, but it was antiques, and he bought from auctions, and he did the estate sales in Lynchburg. I mean, he was the best. So all the people that work for him now work on my estate sales, you know. And he, I was got talking to him, and he was like, I'm moving out of this shop, because he was in here, he moved next door, and he said, just, you know, you should open a shop selling the vintage, but don't do estate sales, because I do estate sales. And I said, okay. And at the time I thought, I shouldn't, what am I doing? I've never had a shop before, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I loved it. I just thought, well, maybe I'm not crazy, maybe I can do this, you know? Like, he believed in me. And anyway, so that, I'm just kind of waffling now, but then...
No, I love it.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I had like probably $50 in the bank account. I mean, it was nothing. And then the first day, I was in the window trying to set up a window display. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, but complacency kills, you see. And it does, and if you just sat, I'd rather be doing something than just thinking about doing something. And this woman walked by, and she saw a wreath that I had in my hand, and that was the first thing that I sold. And I was like, I can do this. And so, but then Troy died last February, and then I took over the estate sales.
So you just started doing estate sales. So this is...
I started, the first one was during the lockdown. The lockdown was the best thing for my business, because everyone was at home. I'd started this business like maybe 10 months before lockdown. And then that came, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do now? Like, the governor was saying you've got to close and all this, and I was like, I just stayed open, because I just would come to the shop every day and just paint furniture. And then I had the door open, and I had hand sanitizer by the door, and I was like, if you want to come in, come in. If you don't, then don't, you know. And then people were at home, and then they were like, well, can you paint this for me? So and my business really grew then. And then people couldn't do yard sales, so Bridget sold her house, and she had to sell all her stuff because she was downsizing. She was like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? I can't do a yard sale because of lockdown, even though it's outside. But we're not going to go into that.
That's so crazy.
But I know. And then I said, let's just do a Facebook Live. So that was the first sale. We just went live on Facebook. I walked around her house with my phone saying, you know, buy this cherub, $8, and then people go, sold. And then we just like made boxes, and we said you can do a porch pickup, and people came to the front porch and picked up and paid by Venmo or through cash or a check or whatever. And then it just grew from there, and then when Troy died, we just started doing them properly.
Nice.
So yeah, 1 year we're doing the estate sales like this.
How do you feel 1 year into it? You obviously love it.
It feels like it's been 10 years, but I think we're getting better each time. Learned a lot. And,
what's the one thing that people could do to make your job easier?
Get the hell out of the way.
So hard.
Stop interfering.
In what way?
The family. Because the first thing that I will say, and I suppose I'm blunt, I don't know, but...
That's one of the reasons I like you. I guess I only really sit down with people that I like, and we've always had friendly banter, and you seem fun.
Try and be honest and upfront.
Yeah.
And I just say to the family, oh, we want to do an estate sale. Okay, take what you want, let the family in, cousin Jim, Joe, cousin whoever, let everyone in, take what they want, because one thing I've learned is that once the family, if anyone has an idea that something is worth something, families just, I don't care how well they get along, they all of a sudden just morph into vultures. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to be in the middle of that, because it's frustrating and it's annoying, and I'm like, these are just things, you know, that you didn't even pay for. Your parents bought them. It's their money. But
they can't get past it's mine. Yeah, like just that kid mentality comes out. Yeah.
It should be mine, or this should be worth $5,000. Well, something's worth what someone will pay for it. And we're in Lynchburg, Virginia, and we have to price reasonably. We're not in Richmond or DC, New York City. And so I always say to them, just take what you want, and then we'll come in. Okay. And then we come in. So they do that, and then we come in, and then it's we go into the closets and under the bed and kitchen cupboards and everywhere, and then we take photos of everything, you know, and we put it on social media because we want to create a buzz. But then they'll see something and they'll say, "Oh, we didn't know we still had that. Can we take it back now?" And then I'm like, "No, it's been in the photo, you know. People are expecting it. They're going to queue up, and they want to see that, whatever it is." And so things just they just change people. I don't know. I don't like what it does to people.
I was going to say, does it? You've seen behind the curtain, so to speak. Now, does it make you feel the same way about the job? Like, do you still find the same beauty in it?
Yeah, I do.
Or is it more beautiful now because you see how ugly it can be on the other end?
Yeah, well, I think that's one thing I've learned, is just how to express that in a nice way, because before it was like, for fuck's sake, you know, your dad's dead. This is a rug. This does not represent your dad.
Yeah.
And so trying to say that tactfully now, I suppose I've learned that. But what it's done is made me, I'm a minimalist. So I have not, you know, the only thing I like to buy is artwork, personally. But other than that, nothing. I don't want anything.
Interesting.
So, and then just to, and this sounds like a cliche, I know it does, but just to like enjoy, have experiences rather than just like things.
Yeah.
And I know that's a cliche, but it really, because then you get the memories, you can't take those away or sell those, or, you know, get money for those.
My most prized possessions are my hard drives with all my pictures on them. I had a head injury when I was about 23, 24, and it fucked up my memory, so I bought a camera to like keep all those memories. Yeah. And then I became pretty good at it, and then it was like work for a little bit. But yeah, I have just 4 or 5 hard drives of terabytes of pictures of everything I've done, and I can go to those. I was just telling Lisa about this today. I can go to that picture, almost any picture I've ever taken, I can go to it, and I can I remember how I felt when I took that thing.
Yeah.
It's really been powerful for my memory, and Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that should mean more to you.
But I do like shit. I like stuff too now. Like I have a house for the first time in my entire life.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just looks so much better when there's stuff all around.
Yeah, it does. I know. But then...
It is weird though.
But you're intentionally buying something. You know, it's not just for the sake of it. It's, you know, you're making a home now with your, you know, partner. And so, you know, and do you have children or?
I have a daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and then I think, you know, I've got 2 sons, and I think, you know, probably should write down or say something like, you know, or if you want a book in particular, I do like books too, or whatever.
Me too.
You know, it's yours.
It's usually what I buy when I go, are books.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And pictures.
With your military discount that I'll give you.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I said it out loud and everybody's like, I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran.
I was like, I'm Spartacus.
Yeah.
But yeah, just pass that down to your kids if they want it, and then say if you don't want it, then do a yard sale.
Is that something you can
whatever.
do in a contract? Like when they sign you to be their estate seller?
Oh, it's in the
says
contract.
like, hey,
It's, yeah. Once they get emotionally attached to, especially the older the person, the worse it is, I think. And they just get emotionally attached to things, and then, and they tend to keep. So it's the baby boomer generation, you know, and they tend to keep, because I suppose they were the kids of the Depression era, you know, parents, and so they, I suppose, grew up with this. This is how I'm thinking about it. They grew up, you know, with we had nothing, you know, literally, and so, but then they're also the boomers now are the richest generation that's ever been, apparently. So they have huge wealth, and they tend to keep like the receipts for everything and files, and so that when they have a sofa or a piece of art, they know it's either on the back or it's in a file, how much they paid for it, and they think that it should not only retain its value but increase in value, you know, and things just don't work like that. Some things do increase in value, but everything's cyclical. So, you know, they may have collected like 3,000 Hummel figures, when Hummel in the 80s were huge. Hummel, apparently they may have kind of come back, but they're not a collectible item now. Yeah, people like them, maybe $8, $10, $20 each, but
what are they?
They're Hummel like those little figures there.
Oh, okay.
See on that shelf.
Yeah.
And they, you know, they're German. The faces are hand painted and they're cute. There's a couple that apparently have retained their value, but you know, that was a huge thing that people would collect, and basically worthless now. So that's why because they know they know how much they paid for everything. They have that value in their brain of what they should be getting back for that piece.
Interesting.
And it doesn't work like that.
Even on their way out, they're counting cents, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't ever want to get like that.
I know.
If I had someone that could just like do all the paperwork and be the business end of, I could do so many things. It's just, I hate that part of it.
Yeah.
I hate thinking about money, worrying about money. I just want to enjoy my life. Do you get first dibs, like once they're done before you come in?
I suppose technically we do. I just try not to do the pre-sale thing, especially if, you know, there's a balancing act, because we are trying to get the most amount of money, obviously, for the family. I've also got payroll, and I've got to earn some money as well. So once I go in, you know, I'm calculating from day one sort of how much is going to be realised from this sale. So on first day, thus the team, you know, at the end of the day, we'll usually pick up something that, if it doesn't sell first day, then we'll pick it up and get it 50% off. But everything's for sale.
I'm always bad about going back on the 50% off days. Like I come in and like, all right, if that's still here, and then I never come back.
Lisa saw us the first one back next day.
Yeah.
With a basket at the front door.
She loves these things. And I do too, but
It's great.
yeah, I don't know. Dealing with the people sometimes. That's what got me interested the first time. Because, I mean, I grew up doing garage sales. I didn't know what an estate sale was. So this was all very new to me. But Kelly came back from one with Lisa and was talking about how rude a few of these women were.
Oh.
And, you know, like calling dibs and getting real sassy.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, take me next time. I'll set up security around whatever you want.
Perimeter.
And then I went, and it's just like, holy. And then I met you, and it just seems like a madhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, when I open that door and they just come up, put their phone in my face, where's this? And I'm like, up there. I mean, it's just because they'll take a screenshot, you know, looking for a particular thing. And that's why I don't want to do pre-sales, because, you know, people, they're driving now from, you know, miles and miles away, Richmond and North Carolina, and coming down. I had this guy contacting me from Massachusetts about these rugs and stuff. So they're willing to drive. You can't let them drive all the way down, queue up.
They have to be here. You don't sell anything online.
No.
Like, so people in Lynchburg get first dibs on all this stuff.
Yeah, unless you come here, you know, yeah. Because that's what, you know, I'm getting message now. I'm driving from North Carolina. You know, will this item be there? And I'm saying, yes.
That's pretty cool. That makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the same chance.
I like that.
And that I don't do any sign-up sheets, no tickets, no admission fee, nothing. Some estate sales do that. And so everyone has that chance. That door opens at 10 a.m. to get what they want.
I do have a good idea, though, and maybe you've already thought of it.
Here we go. We're always getting ideas. You know what?
I'm an idea man.
If you did this, it would be so much. Yeah.
No, so how much money you could raise for charity if you sold a front of the line ticket to all these.
We've done that before. We did an event. We did a sale for Rush Homes, which helps poor and like disabled people with housing. And so we had the Rush Homes. We did a Friday night preview night kind of thing, but you could buy that night. And she was at the door with like a bucket, you know, and you could donate to that charity. We did that once, but I don't know. I'll just get kind of wary about that. I think it can.
My brain's always trying to figure out ways to raise money for
someone
charity.
else that's done that, and they're not quite honest, and yeah.
Do you have a lot of competition in Lynchburg? I know somebody else who does estate sales, not on your level, but
there's other people that do estate sales, and I try not to look at what I don't like. I don't have a herd mentality, and so I have to do my thing my way and not get distracted by someone else. And I like to do it my way, and if you don't like it my way, then don't come. Or because, like, as I said, well, why don't you do tickets? You know, it'd be so much nicer if you did a ticket, and then I could just get a ticket and come at 7 a.m. and then I could go home and I could drink my coffee and then I could just come. I mean, don't come to a sale then. If you don't want to queue up, then, you know, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything.
Yeah.
And but so I do it my way, and I don't follow anyone else around here that does it. I am friends with Aubrey, who's in Amherst County, and he's like old school. He has like a warehouse and it's full, and he does auctions, and he's like a country boy kind of thing, you know. And but I don't care what anyone else is doing, because I don't want to get as I say, distracted. Or
it's funny you say distracted. While you were saying that whole story, I was thinking about another idea where you hide a ticket in the house, like a Willy Wonka golden ticket, and if they find that, then they get to be first in line to the next one. But not that I'm trying to give you ideas.
These gimmicks.
It just seems fun.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun. Maybe for kids, because we love to have the kids. We always try to have a kids' room, and we always have cookies for them. And we do want to make it a family affair. So maybe
that is. I mean, it just seems fun. Something, yeah.
Yeah, because last year we did an Easter sale. Easter Sunday, Kate and Virginia set up an Easter egg hunt for the kids in the back garden. And,
nice.
Yeah.
They are fun. I always have good conversations with people. I mean,
yeah, you meet all sorts of people.
I went to go defend Kelly and then end up, I mean, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is actually pretty fun.
I think so. But you're right, yeah, some people, certain things people just want it, certain pieces of art, or we do price to sell. I do think we price well. We always negotiate. Sunday's 50% off, and so, and each time it's just getting bigger and bigger in numbers, more, and then I've noticed my social media this year, it's only been a couple of months, but it's just like, just really finally picking up,
How much bigger can we get before we have to have a bouncer at the door clicking so many people in the house? Because sometimes I'm like trying to get through some of those hallways and I'm just brushing up against everybody.
I know, we thought about, like, even last week, that house.
Like, does a fire marshal ever come?
That's what I was going to say. I thought, if someone called a fire marshal right now, because upstairs in the library, and that was a big house that we just had the estate sale at, but I went upstairs and I was like, gosh, it's just cramped up here. But I know, because sometimes we've done, well, with the Hunger Games sale, we were trying to do.
Talking about gimmicks, but what are you talking about?
Well, Kel, I think you went to that, the Hunger Games on Lansing.
Is Hunger Games like the name of you name your sales?
I always name the sales, if you've noticed, and it's usually alliterative.
How are you going to call my idea gimmicky when you do it that way?
Well, it's not a gimmick. It helps people remember and maybe stand out. I stand out from all the other
never
estate
noticed
sales.
that.
It's always.
I always notice just whatever pictures, kind of the first couple pictures.
Yeah.
I actually bought one of the paintings. It was like the main picture for the estate sale. I think it was the first one we went to. It was like this, I don't know, like Greek port scene.
Yes.
A bunch, yeah.
That was on off Link Road, wasn't it?
No, out towards off Boonsboro. You take a left at that light into that neighborhood. We're on Boonsboro, right?
Yes.
So if you keep going out towards that light and you take a left into that neighborhood.
Oh, Chip Mason.
It was at that house.
Okay, Irvington Springs.
That was the first one I went to.
Oh, okay. I was trying to remember that.
And I looked at it, because we saved it in our calendar, so that picture would pop up every time I'd get a notification about it. So when I got there, I'm like, give me that fucking painting. I've been looking at it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now.
Gotta have it.
And I remember, I don't know how much I paid, but the guy was taking it off the wall, and some girl came up and she touched it, and she's like, oh, it's just a print. And I was like, I don't give a shit. We have so much just like gaudy paintings in this one room of our house now. Like, it's our mission to get a painting from every estate sale and put it up in that room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I need photos of that.
It's pretty cool, yeah. We just bought the lion. Remember that lion head that was in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, we bought that.
Meredith.
And then we have a, she didn't get it from your estate sale, but a Mona Lisa.
Oh,
and I'm gonna tattoo Mona Lisa's skin and just have it be like a trendier Mona Lisa.
You're going to paint on there?
Yeah.
I want to see that too.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, I always give it a title. Usually alliteration. The Hunger Games one was because it was literally going to be like the Hunger Games, and it was. Almost had a fight at that one. A dealer came from Danville to get the glass, and it was just manic. And
Who restores order? And like,
I told him, stop bloody shouting, calm down, leave that woman alone. I mean, I had to kind of get involved. It was just.
You need a bouncer?
I need a bouncer.
Can I show up and do security?
See, that's what you're angling at, isn't it? You want
I want a job.
You want a job.
Yeah.
And be the bouncer. You can.
I'll be the bouncer at every estate sale if you give me one piece of art.
Who chooses?
And I'll be conservative. Like, I don't need the most expensive. I just like probably yeah. It's not about that, but I would definitely do that.
Who chooses the art?
You can.
Whatever I think fits you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll think about it.
It'll make that art seem. I'll appreciate it so much more because you chose it for me. Why are you rolling your eyes?
Flattery. Now, we have thought about having, sometimes we used to have a man, James. He looks after his mom now, but he can't help at the moment. But because we have sterling and the jewellery, and it sounds kind of sexist, I suppose, but to have a man standing at the table, it's kind of like a bit of a deterrent to theft. And touch wood, we have not had
I'm your guy.
Any theft.
They seem fun. I would love to hang out and kind of just keep order and be like a little shepherd.
Okay.
Look out for you. You've always been sweet to me, so I feel compelled to give back.
I'm sweet. I'm nice to everyone. Until I'm not.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were, I remember when I asked you to do this, you were like, oh, I got some stories to tell. So give me a couple crazies that you feel comfortable sharing.
Okay.
I remember you saying something about dead body, so I'm already interested in that.
Well, that was the Hunger Games, but that was 2 houses down, the dead body. So technically it wasn't at our estate sale. The craziest one, it's in Lynchburg, and it's in this area. Met the sister over there. The mom had died. The brother was living at the house. This was what I was told. Went in, without giving too many details. Started looking around the house. I'm thinking, okay, we've got some pieces here. It's a cool house, big stairway and all this. And I thought, yeah, we can do a good sale here. And then there was a knock at the door, and then she motioned me into the kitchen, and I was like, oh, what's going on now? Well, it turned out the brother that was living there wasn't actually there at that moment because he was in jail, because he'd beaten up the neighbour. And I was like, look, when he's released Monday, after he gets bail, we can't be here, and he comes back, and, we need this all sorted before we come back. Okay, so about a month later, I go back. They're allowing him to take what he wants, and then he's moving out. So I go back to the house. There's hardly anything left. It looks like, we termed it the crack house because that's what it was, just stuff everywhere. We found dildos, porn, books, videos, a glass penis bong out of Ted 2. Remember that?
Ted 2.
Remember Ted 2 in the back of the car?
Is that the stuffed animal?
Yes.
I didn't see Ted 2. Sorry.
You've got to see it.
Yeah?
So Amanda Seyfried's there, and the only bong that she's got is a huge glass penis. So anyway,
How old was the mom?
She was in her 80s, but she I don't know what was going on there whilst he's 50 odd or something, still living at home, yeah, and just is doing all sorts. We're finding drug paraphernalia everywhere, and so I'm just saying, look, we're not doing an estate sale here. A, there's nothing left, and B, there's no way I can invite people in. This is just literally a dumpster. One of the guys that helps me, he loves guns, right? So he collects guns. He sees this box with this oily rag. And he's thinking, oh, they wrap guns in oil, put oil on the rag and wrap the gun to protect it, blah, blah. Stop it from rusting. So he goes in there, opens it up. Well, it's this huge dildo. Massive, and he's like, oh, and he's freaking out, trying to find some alcohol to put on his hands because he was all excited about this oil, but I don't know what was on the rag now. So that's probably the craziest
A lot
house
of lube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's probably the craziest house.
So what happened to all that sexual paraphernalia?
Dumpster.
Yeah?
Yeah. We gloves, and then and we did it. We cleared the house out and got the house sold, and there was some furniture pieces left in there that we were able to sell and put in another estate sale.
Did you ever hit them with a black light?
No, absolutely not. We talked about that because I've got a black light for the glass, but no, it was. We just thought about, the little woman living there too, and he had this room, and it was all dark.
So who was using this? He was?
Yeah, he was.
Or the sister?
No, the sister doesn't live. She lives 4 hours away, so it was his stuff.
And he didn't take it when he came in and raped the place,
no,
for lack of a better word?
No, he took he took furniture and some artwork and stuff, and he left
all his dildos.
Yeah, well, he obviously had other stuff that he did take, and these were just left over, and he didn't want any more or whatever. Or he was in so much of a rush. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we find like dead mice and rats and squirrels and bats and things like that. And yeah, you've got to be careful in Lynchburg because everyone's related.
Yeah.
So I can't say too much about what we found and what we've witnessed.
What is it? Does it make you feel any different about people?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if people say something or like gossiping, oh, you never guess what so-and-so, and I always think you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, because when you go into these homes and we found so much porn, it's surprising, from the baby boomers. That's one of the really surprising things. I'm like,
why is that surprising though? Isn't porn like literally the biggest industry in the world, and we all walk around and act like nobody watches it? Or...
I don't watch it.
You don't watch porn? No. You've never watched it in your life?
I mean, it doesn't interest me. So, but I just, not that I'm a prude or anything, but it doesn't interest me. But I just think it's funny when we had 80-year-old, was a primary school teacher, apparently, someone's primary school teacher. And then we just found this huge bag of toys and porn. And she'd poured it in the dumpster already. She'd bagged it up and put it in the dumpster. So maybe it wasn't actually hers. I don't know. But that it surprised me. That generation, I suppose.
Yeah. Maybe
it was just, everything was just repressed, and so they couldn't, it was the only way they could express them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into all that, but...
I grew up, my first exposure to porn was 60s and 70s Playboys that were in the end of one of those foot cabinets at the bed.
Yeah.
What are those called?
Like a cedar chest?
Yeah.
Well, they would
we didn't have internet yet, really.
Right. They would be in the supermarket, though, wouldn't they? Don't you mean in the magazine rack?
Yeah, but they would be covered up. Yeah.
So that kind of is not... I don't consider that to be real, I suppose. But some of the videos, I mean, just the cover.
Yeah.
Just what the hell is she watching?
I don't like most of that. I'm not... I prefer the naked pictures. I'm always looking... That's kind of what I'm always on the hunt for, is nude art or stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Artistic porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it just all falls under the same word, porn. I actually, I did some work, well, not for Playboy, but I shot a Playboy model when I lived in LA. And I shot a lot of women naked when I lived in LA. Oh. And I really liked it. And I was really good at it. That was one of the things that kind of, I started getting paid for in the earlier days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
Well, I bought the camera, and then I was stationed in Southern California.
Yeah.
And I had made friends in LA. So on the weekends, almost every weekend, I'd go up to LA and hang out. And one of the guys I met owned a studio, and they would rent it out to magazines. Whoever wanted a studio in LA they would rent this place out. Yeah. So I met a bunch of celebrities, and I got to do B-roll shooting at a Playboy shoot, and just got to. I mean, every weekend it was something different from the industry that I was exposed to, and he would let me shoot on his secondary camera, and then he would always compliment me and be like, "Hey, you're pretty good. You should start doing this." And then he'd keep inviting me back to do it again and again.
Oh, that's cool.
But I just really liked kind of replicating some of those images that I had seen in those earlier Playboys. Yeah, and I want to do it again because I'd like to do a gallery. And do artistic nudes and make an event and a night out of it. But I want to shoot girls from this area to participate in it, and then be at the gallery and do a whole thing. I think it'd be fun. But it's one of the most...
Who would want to do that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are people who would, but it's not over. It's there's not a lot. This isn't a place like that.
No, I was going to say, not in Lynchburg.
But I think it'd be fun. And I think, there are a subset of people here that would appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Amy had some next door. She had some estate sale art, and I bought a couple. I don't think, no, they're at the house. But he was really good. He's sort of impressionistic, but realistic too. These nudes, and I bought a couple, and it's like charcoal, but a painted background. Really good.
I'll show you a few. Actually, my next question was gonna be, are you tired of people making fun of your accent or mocking you?
Not tired of it, no, but.
And do you think that your accent helps you in business here in America?
Well, maybe a little bit. Gives me an edge, maybe on it, you know. Especially in a small town like this, you know, it's not often you hear an English accent, so it does. The men like it, you know.
You can swipe through there, and I'm sorry if maybe some of them are more than you'd like to see.
Oh, that's cool. So how did you meet Kelly?
At a gym. I went to go visit my brother in North Carolina, and we went to the gym, and she was there, and I said hello, and actually I asked if I could take her picture, and she was like, "Nah, I'm good." But my sister does that type of stuff, so she gave me like her sister's like Instagram handle, and and then through that handle I found her tag, and then I just sent her a DM, and we went on a date, and the rest is history. And now I do take pictures of her. She's like
well, she's gorgeous.
She's my muse.
Yeah, these are really cool.
Yeah?
I don't know if, you know, Amy if you wanted to do something like that, like Amy next door, she does, I don't know if she's had a photographer in there. But she's always doing like, you know, rotating artists, like potters and all different media.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. There's a space downtown that I might be able to do too, at some point. I just took these of Kelly, and you're going to see more of Kelly than...
Is she okay with this?
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. She looks different. I mean, like her face does. She got makeup on there? Because she doesn't normally wear makeup, does she? Do much? She's more natural.
Not too much, yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's what I like to do, among many other things. And I don't even know how we got down that road. Oh, we were talking about...
porn.
Yeah, you find porn in people's houses. So how long do you think you can do this? Play mediator and...
I don't know. I want to... I don't really do anything. I don't have a plan for anything. Things just kind of happen. But
yeah,
I won't be staying in Lynchburg for ever. No. Maybe I want to move down to the water. We have a little house down in Matthews on Chesapeake Bay, and I'd like to go there every weekend, but I can't when I've got estate sales going on. I've got estate sales going on every month, so I miss going down there, but I'm going down tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where I want.
Where is it at? Sorry.
Matthews. It's on the Chesapeake Bay. No one knows about it. It's like
well, then let's keep it a secret. Yeah.
Well, it's just been named one of the little best. It's the smallest county in Virginia, the second smallest county, with the most amount of shoreline. So it's on the Chesapeake and the Mobjack Bay. And it's a peninsula that sticks out, so you only go there because it ends at the water.
Nice.
So it's, yeah.
How'd you find that place?
When my son was about 4, we used to go to the Outer Banks and Virginia Beach and stuff, and then the shark attack started happening. My son's 21 now. And I was petrified that I thought he's going to be eaten by a shark. So I had to find somewhere where we could go to the beach, but there were no sharks.
Nice.
And I found it because it was on the bay and there was no real waves and no sharks, and he could just sit in the water and play. And then
awesome.
Just keep going back.
Sounds Sounds like somewhere I'd want to go and take pictures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Sunsets. Every road like ends at the water, and the beach is not, there's nothing built on the beach. It's just a beach with no buildings. You can't, you just look out to the water or the sand. It's just, I think it's paradise. I love it. I love going down there.
So what are you waiting on? Your husband to retire, or?
Oh no, he's down there.
Oh, he's already down there? Mm-hmm. What are you doing here? You just doing this?
Working.
Wow.
Secret to a happy marriage. Live 250 miles apart.
I mean, I believe it. You being honest?
Yeah.
Yeah? I would love that.
Yep.
I got really good at being alone.
I'm good at being alone.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm an introvert, which people don't believe, but the technical definition, I am. So your interactions throughout the day are draining, and at the end you just want to be alone.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I've got a friend who lives here, Freddie, he's in Floyd, and he's from England. And then he's married to an American. Well, we talked about it once because he's like, it's so American. They just think that you've got to you get married and you've got to live together and just be together all the time, And he goes back to England all the time for like a month at a time or 6 weeks or somewhere. He goes traveling for his job. And he goes, like I said, it's the secret to a happy marriage. It's just like, and then you can go off and do your own thing, and then you've got something to talk about when you do get together. Or
for a little bit, I mandated that we have separate bedrooms, and I fucking loved it. Like, she was off in her room and had all her things in her space, and I had my area in my space, and I would tell people that, and they'd be like, why? Like, what's wrong?
Well, if you think about it, I suppose it's the last, 20 years, the whole she shed, man cave, which, is really corny, but it's that kind of concept, isn't it? That we all just need our own little area, whether it's a room or it's a shed out in the garden or the basement that's kind of off limits to everyone else, where you can kind of just do your thing and whatever it is, take photos of naked people or paint furniture. Everyone needs their own little creative space.
So how do you think it's going to be when you finally go down there and you're there together full time? I mean, I'm sure you'll find a way to still have your space. I'm sure you guys are healthy enough.
I want to do things kind of, well, we're buying another house down there because I want to be on the water. I mean, that's my goal. So,
can I come visit? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to come down and take pictures.
Because then the other house we're going to rent out as Airbnb.
Okay.
And then this house I can see the water. So I want this little, it's like this, I'm not calling it a she shed, but like a little building so I can look at the water and see the water, because that just like, I don't know.
Do you paint or do anything artistic? You do? Mm-hmm. You come off as like a painter.
And write.
I can see you sitting behind an easel looking out at the water.
Well, not that kind of painter. I paint furniture. No, I mean, in my head, I'd love to be doing that, but I can't paint. I like to write and read, and I do like the whole now this is going to sound really corny, but the like barefoot, on the beach, and like the connecting with like grounding.
That's
and all
not
that.
Corny at all. That's right down my alley.
I do love to do that, and the magnesium from the water and blah blah.
Oh, don't blah blah that. That's all.
Well, it just
people need to know that shit's important. That really is a difference maker.
It is, because I work like really hard. I mean, everyone works hard, but
no,
they
don't.
Well, they do in their own way. But then going down there, that recharges me. But I've got to make sure when I go down there that it doesn't become, a chore to be there, if you know what I mean. I still need that.
Don't get complacent.
There you go.
See?
Yep. So then I've got a vision of being down there. I'm going to have all these Airbnbs, and I'm going to run those and, make it an experience for people to go down there.
And you're going to fill each one with all your interesting stuff.
Yes. Decorate them in a way.
And you know what you could also do? If you curated them well enough, you could rent them out as like studios. Like studio space. People come in and you could advertise it that way anyway. Because when I'm when I'm looking for an Airbnb, it's like that. Like, what does the inside look like? Because I have a certain idea for a photo shoot.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'd be something like if you did every room a different like theme and like really leaned into that theme, I think you'd draw a lot of
Yeah, that's
artistic.
You're full of ideas, aren't you?
I am. That's all I do all day long.
Think.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me. So, as my future employer, I just need to make you aware of a tattoo that could possibly offend people.
Well, I've never noticed that in the whole time that I've known you.
So, I lived in Australia for about a year.
That's Ricky Gervais's favourite word.
I love Ricky Gervais.
Me too.
But I lived in Australia for about a year, and I love talking to people, and I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of them said that I was a good cunt. They said I got 2 compliments all the time in Australia. 1, that I was a good cunt, and 2, that I was a thinker.
Where's the thinker then? You need that on there.
That's going to be the next one. Yeah. I for whatever reason, because when I came back...
I've never spotted that before.
People would always ask me, like, what'd you learn on your travels? And I was like, at the end of the day, you just got to be a good cunt. That's it. Like, we're all capable of being, like, really cunty people. Like, it's in our core as human beings. Like, we can be shit. And, like, you've seen that on a new scale now with, like, family members and money. And
yeah.
But the goal is to just be a good one. Like, try to be a good cunt. And I think it's great advice.
It's a good mantra.
And if it offends anybody, which it hasn't yet, oddly enough, and I think it's because I always give the context to it, which is it's a compliment and like an ethos on how to live your life.
So do you find that with tattoos that people can be, well, they're judging you first because they see those? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the latest example of that is I just got asked to do, to be appreciated for my service at a Liberty game. So Steve Bozeman, he did it the week before, and then they were looking for somebody else to do it. So he suggested me, and it's the only reason I would do it is because he did it. Because I guess I'm a little self-conscious about putting myself out there, like, thank me for my service. But they asked me to go be at half court during the first timeout. They put the camera on me, and they have everybody thank me for my service. And when I got to the game and got to our seats, we were kind of going back and forth a lot, and you could see people looking. I know what it looks like when people are judging me, and I saw it all over. And then we go down half court, and everybody stands and applauds, and I come back to my seat, and the same people that I saw judging me were like, they had the kindness back in their eyes, and they were like saying thank you, and like, you know, making sure that we made eye contact. So yeah, I know what I look like. Yeah, and I actually appreciate it. Like, it's my way to prove you wrong. Yes. And I love that. I love proving people wrong. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember when it's that one, isn't it? The eye, you know. I'm like, then I'm thinking, I don't want to keep looking at it but it's just, I think it's fascinating, and then I'm thinking, I get so many compliments on it, and it's an icebreaker. So many people have talked to me because of it. Yeah. So I love that too. Yeah. And then what was that? What's that all about then? So the video I was telling you got the most views was about my suicide attempt. And not to tell that whole story again, but at the end of my Marine Corps career, I tried to commit suicide. And the way that I was going to do it, because of the circumstances, was I was going to cut my throat, because it's the only thing I had available at the time. And obviously I didn't, and I had some cops showed up because I had called my mom and said goodbye, and she called 911 and had them come to the house. But they, I attacked the cops with the knife instead, hoping that they would shoot me. But the tattoo symbolizes like where I was going to cut, and to take the knowledge that I've learned, because that's what the eye means to me, is knowledge, and the wings are to like keep my head up and keep moving forward. And that's a really hard way to die, isn't it? To yourself. Yeah. Elliott Smith, you know the singer. Well, he's dead now, but he stabbed himself to death. I mean, because I remember hearing that, thinking, you know, you're not going to do it the first time. You're not going to kill yourself the first. You got to keep. Yeah. That's like really hard way to go. Yeah, and I was I vaguely remember being, you know, in that position and holding the blade to my throat and like trying to get myself the courage to do it because I knew how bad it was going to be. And I remember I was bawling my eyes out, like sobbing, like ugly cry, because I was like, man, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
But I had already made the decision that I was going to do it. So I was like, yeah, I was just trying to find the courage. And then the cops, I heard the cops and I looked over and they were all pointing weapons at me. And so I was like, this moment of just relief, because I knew I wasn't going to have to do it myself. I just had to find the courage now to like scare them. And I did. I lunged at them, and I've told this story another time on camera, and I'm crying when I'm telling it, but then I start laughing at this part because they shot me with non-lethal weapons, 2 tasers and this like rubber riot round that just sobered me up so quick. But my dumbass thought that they had guns. So I was like, this is it, you know? And then I wake up in the hospital.
So you meant to be alive?
I think so. And that's another reason why I'm excited to prove people wrong and like just be a contributing member of society and take whatever knowledge that I have, that I've acquired over this crazy life. I mean, we could sit here and talk for 10 hours about all the dumb shit I've done in my life, but all the lessons that I've learned from that, how it can apply to a community and how we can be better and better prepared and just more loving. And
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel compelled to just be a good cunt.
That's a good end, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I think this was productive, and I look forward to working with you every month.
So what do you do now with this? You just like edit it and stuff? And
I really don't edit it. I just...
Oh, God.
Every once in a while I do. Like, I'll like do little stuff, or if they say something that they didn't mean to, or they get to this point and they're like, well, maybe let's not talk about that, then I'll take it out. But
oh, I see.
If it's all fine,
well,
I usually just put my little logo on it and put it... I don't know who's going to watch it.
Well, I'm going to watch it. Yeah. And I'm going to share it. So it's on YouTube, it's 434.
434 Community Service.
And then the podcast.
Complacency Kills. Yeah.
And where do you find the podcast?
Well, so like 434 Community Service is like all encompassing. I have little videos of what we do down at Monument Terrace, like just little highlighted clips of things that I've done or what's going on in the community. Mm-hmm. And then there's podcasts in there kind of sprinkled in.
Okay.
And those are called Complacency Kills.
I see.
But there's all types of content on there, mostly veteran stuff, like whatever is going on. But I like highlighting, like, I'm going to do an interview with the owner of this. Remington Ranch is owned by 2 law enforcement officers here in Lynchburg, and I ride around with one of them quite often. Like, I'll go ride on duty with him.
Oh, like a ride along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love him, and he's got a business, so I like to promote him. And
what's that all about then?
Remington Ranch?
Yeah.
It's just, so down at the farmer's market every Saturday morning, he's got a booth there with his wife, and they sell chicken, pork, eggs, elderberry, dog treats, bone broth, all types of stuff. And it's really good. And his dad owns the bakery inside. Have you ever been to the farmer's market? Mm-hmm. So you go in, I forget the name of it, and I apologize, Seth.
Oh, God.
They're here.
Hello?
But yeah, I just wanted to promote you, celebrate you.
Who is it?
Me.
Bloody hell, Bridget. I'm in the middle of a podcast here.
Oh.
Come and join it.
No.
You, Nathan, from the sales.
Yeah.
Is it Nathaniel or Nathan?
Nathaniel. But
Why do I call you Nathan then?
I don't know.
Oh,
We're doing the podcast, Bridget.
good. Is it still on? Can you
It is.
call
Yeah,
me?
no, yeah, we're good.
Cut it out. Go
She's
ahead.
got her wallet. What's that mean?
I'm gonna leave. Go ahead.
All right.
No,
We're,
I mean, do what you
No,
gotta
it's
do.
nothing.
we're about to finish it.
Yeah, we're done.
Finish up. I'm gonna
All right, sit down.
But yeah, I just wanted to promote
Bridget's
you.
been doing it longer than me. She's been doing it since you were how old, Bridget?
Oh.
Yes, you do.
Well, my mother, they did it. Their first estate sale that they did was Poplar Forest.
Wow.
Yes, it was. Wow.
And what was the company called?
Attic to cellar.
That's pretty
It
cool.
was my mom and her good friend, Nell, and Carolyn Hamrick and Gloria McGee. The four of them did it. And then, yeah.
I bet you they found some cool stuff there.
Now that's the one you should interview next.
Yeah, what was I doing with you?
Yeah, don't bother with me. This is
We'll delete all this.
old Lynchburg here. This is.
There's so much history here.
She knows
It is
where
really
all the
cool.
she knows where all the bodies are buried.
That was kind of a sinister laugh.
And she's a great storyteller. You won't even have to ask questions. You'll just give her a prompt every now and again. She'll just go.
Yeah, I need to get better at interviewing. I feel like I stumble around and I want to talk about this and then jump over here, and I'm just so ADD in my thoughts.
Yeah, we all are, aren't we?
But no, I just really liked the sales. I liked you. I liked your accent. You seemed cool. You always gave me shit and then gave me a...
He wants a job, Bridget. He wants to be the bouncer.
The bouncer.
Yeah, because you can monitor the sterling and the jewelry.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Just someone just to keep the peace.
And you can help Michelle Bell move, because that girl is strong.
Yeah, I know. The one with the visor.
The
Michelle Bell.
skinniest one of
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Always got the visor on, head down. She just lifts up.
I know, she
Dresses
is
and-
strong.
Well, I usually see her carrying stuff over her head, so I never really know what she looks like. I just see this thing of stuff moving
Yeah.
through the house.
Yeah.
So see, that'd be good. We have some extra muscle.
Muscle.
Yeah, and Sarah's gonna get an ATM next.
We saw this estate sale. I was watching it in Florida. It's on this YouTube. And they've got a mini ATM in the house.
Yeah, why not?
I know. So I was going
Because
on the
then you get
Amazon
like
trying
3 or
to...
4% on every transaction,
Yeah.
and then you only accept cash.
And then, if we accept cash, that's right.
Yeah, but
No, you can't.
You can't just do that.
Yeah.
But you could have an ATM
Yeah.
right there. If anyone just wants to pay cash.
You just say, no tax. Well, I don't know if you tax people for your.
Sales tax, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, you're right. There's a fee on top, isn't there, if you don't use your own bank?
Yeah.
yeah.
No money maker.
Yep.
So they must in Florida. It must be check or cash only.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the Cav makes money like that. Have you ever been to the Cavalier?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they only pay in cash, and
That's
they.
right.
That's right, yeah, and they got the ATM.
The James one in
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we
do
need a self-checkout
yeah.
ATM. And then we're going to have the bouncer. We're up in our game, Bridget.
Yeah.
I work for pretty cheap, though. I mean, I've never really seen a lot of art for too much money.
Yeah, we priced to sell.
And if I'm moving stuff now,
Oh, here we go.
yeah.
It's renegotiating his contract.
No, not renegotiating. I'm just highlighting.
5
So
minutes
when you
ago, he was
choose
doing
my-
it for nothing. Now.
When you choose my art, just keep that in mind, I am 40 years old. I have a back issue. I know I look strong, and I am strong, but...
You work out.
I do. But that's just so I don't rust. Because that's a real thing.
Michelle Bell.
Inflammation.
Out. That's why she's so agile. She and Sarah can run up and down the steps.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
Good.
Is there like a uniform? Do you have a shirt with the logo on
Come
it
as
yet?
you are. I'm trying to get t-shirts, but she would never wear a t-shirt. Of course,
No?
Miss flipping
But-
Iris Apfel over there.
Well, I'll wear it. I'm a walking billboard. People are always looking at my tattoos anyway.
Yeah.
But if you could make that T-shirt into an apron for me, I'd wear it. And you can do it. You can fold those things under and just have it like tied around the neck.
I know a guy who does that stuff. He could get you he could get you really nice aprons and put your logo embroidered on it.
We
Like
have some nice ones.
We have some
that
nice,
got.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got a logo. I mean,
you should.
I don't need one.
That'll give you something to think about.
T-shirt design.
It should be
Merch.
that face right there. Asian face. Eskimo.
Oh, the Eskimo, yeah. No, you can't say that anymore. You've got to say,
How about
what is it now,
the
Inuit?
Syria? Did you hear what
Oh, I saw the coasters that they made for him or something.
Yeah.
From a painting that they got from one of the sales, and then they had it like made into coasters.
I don't know.
For
I
some-
thought it was,
A koozie or something.
well, Kate's, no, hand sanitizer or something.
Oh.
I don't know. Kate said she's putting hers in her car. Now, what does she need to coaster in the car?
Oh, I don't
She
know.
doesn't have a chauffeur. And then Virginia's gonna put hers, frame hers or something. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, we could. I don't know what. We could have Bridget's face. You can be the face of
Ew,
Renovate.
No.
See, Iris Apple, that is. She's got the glasses and the hair and everything.
Poor Iris. I don't want to live to be 100.
She was 102,
Yeah,
Bridget.
but her mind was good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
And her body, she was fine, moving around. All right, we've devolved now into like talking about merchandise and. You done?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Got a microphone and everything, Bridget.
Now,